Welcome into the Gator Nation Football Podcast film review. I'm James DiVirgilio, and each and every week I'm going to break down Florida's offense and Florida's defense versus all of their opponents for the entirety of the 2025 season. I'm thrilled to be back. It's been a long off season. I hope you're just as excited as I am to actually get in and watch some football and see what went right and what went wrong each and every Saturday throughout the entire season. As always, this content will live on Twitter, YouTube, and Patreon, but there is a change this season to where the full game reviews will live after this week, which is going to be exclusively on Patreon. There is a link in the description where you can sign up to become a patron of the GNFP, where a $15 a month subscription will get you full access to both the offense and defensive film reviews each and every week, all season long. All right, without further ado, let's head into this film and see what the Florida Gators were able to accomplish and what they were not able to accomplish versus a very overmatched LIU team. Of course, spoiler alert, this performance was not a great one from the offense, as Lagway himself said. Quite the difference from the defensive film review. The defense was excellent. The offense was meh at best, but it did feature a pretty significant breakout performance from VB3, and of course a rock solid sort of superstar heavyweight performance from Jaden Ball. Let's take a look at the good, bad, and the ugly, starting with the very first play of the game. All right, first play of the game in the 2025 season, and Florida already up 7-0 thanks to a defensive touchdown. Lagway back on the field, really the first time playing football since the Tulane game, missed all of spring practice, missed almost all of fall practice. Of course, did get some practices in before this game, but first time that he could be contacted in quite some time. Florida on the first play is going to come up with a pass, and a motion Trey here. Trey's going to come with this route. We're going to send VB3 on a corner post route, looking for Trey here, or of course, if you had VB3, neither of them are going to be there. In fact, LIU actually played pretty solid defense versus Florida across the board. They used a tried and true game plan that a lot of other teams have used successfully versus Billy's offense, which is largely to play a lot of cover 3 or other zones, but primarily focus on walling everything off in the booth, so to speak, right? Making sure that Florida's own oftentimes narrow splits and heavy preference for running routes that tend to be in the middle of the field to just kind of bottle them up, wall them off, pass them off to each other, and not allow these throwing lanes to be easy. That's going to happen here as well as we see on this play. I'm going to roll it here for you. And then a rusty Lagway, I think where he really struggled today as you watch through all of this film review is his pocket presence. He tends, especially last year, to perform quite well, especially in the initial part of his drop. So one thing we saw him do really well last year was as he steps back like he is now, he would have a really good opening stem, plant the right foot, have his read, and then be convicted with where to go. You can see that's already not happening here. He doesn't even get to the end of his drop before he's already opening up. He's not under any duress or pressure. He's then going to open up and slide so far here, so far out that he's actually going to cause pressure for himself, right? Florida's got this bottled up. The O-line's got this locked up. Just stay right here, DJ. You don't need to go anywhere. Little rusty, little anxious, wants to get the ball out. He's got his check down right here, right away. He should have hit it immediately. He does not have either receiver open over here, which he knew. Take your check down, get out of there. But, he's gassed up. He's ready to play. He's ready to make a big play. Still wants to find a way to fit the deep ball in there. Sees it. Now wants to come down here. You're going to see right at the end, he looks like, okay, I should take my check down. It's too late for that now. Going to make a head fake here. Gets away from one. But ultimately takes a sack. So the very first offensive play here for Florida is a sack, and that's entirely on Lagway on that play. Yes, nobody's open. The check down was open. Progress 1, 2, 3 at your check down. Get out of there. Stay in the pocket. So not a good start from Lagway here. Of course, my role on film review is to show the highs and the lows. The goal of any player on film review should be seek perfection, right? What can I do better? How can I become the best player I can be? You should be relatively perfectionist when watching yourself on film, obviously, or coaching others. You want to make sure that your players know that we need to be doing everything correct at all times. So we're going to hold Florida to that standard, knowing, of course, no one is going to be perfect at all times. The goal on film review is to get things right as much as possible. So the opening play here, not a good one for Florida. Second down and 15 now. You know what is good? Feeding the rock to 13. Jaden Ball, this is what it looks like when you're on top of your game facing an overmatched opponent and you get good blocks here right off the start. It looks a lot like this. A zone run here from Jaden. Massive hole. Get a pancake right out of the gate here from Austin Barber. I mean, he's about to WWE, right? Right off the top rope here and put him down. He looks at it thinking, oh no, already I've heard about this offensive line. I've heard how good they are. And Florida's in business right out of the gate. I mean, this is everything you want to see if you're Ball. And then Ball's going to wind up cruising through. Not touched yet, right? We're 10 yards, 11 yards, 15 yards, now 20 yards. There's your first touch if you want to count that as a touch. And Ball's out the gate, right? Off and running. Look, Jaden Ball, I mean, he's the real deal, right? What a pickup for Billy. What a pickup for the Gators. Jaluke, who I think has been Florida's best position coach, just continues to produce players that are productive at this position. And Florida gets things started off right with a nice piece of chunk yardage on second down and a first down from 2nd and 15. If one play is good, two is probably better. Let's give him the rock again and see what happens. Let's put like 5 seconds on the clock and see how many LIU defenders probably don't want to play football anymore. Hey, this is cool. I'm in the swamp. I'm really excited about this. Awesome atmosphere. I've heard about this team since I was a kid. I love football. It's why I'm playing at the D1 level. I'm a pretty good player. I'm playing at the D1 level. Okay, they've got us blocked up pretty good here. No worries. I'm reading this. I've seen this guy on film. I'm going to come downhill aggressive. I'm going to go low. I know he's a strong player. I'm going to take him out. I'm going to give myself a highlight right here against an SEC player, one of the best running backs in the SEC. I'm going to show him how we do things up in Long Island. And Jaden Ball says, let me show you how we do things right here in the South, son. This is your helmet. Thank you for coming. Thank you for trying to tackle me. I appreciate your efforts. Let me baptize you right there in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. I mean, he is gone. He's gone. I mean, he's not even up and recovering yet. And Jaden Ball is out of the corner. But now, here we had a baptism. This might be an exorcism, right? We're going with the spiritual component here because Jaden Ball now, he's rolling and he's had one stiff arm. And now it's like, you know what? I think that you need to be exercised straight on your back. I mean, he might not play football again. I'm not sure if his soul leaves his body or not here. But I mean, he's also going low. Look, I'm going to try to go low. I'm taking the impact here. I want to bring this guy down. He's a strong runner. And he's already on the ground. He already has both knees on the ground and just wham. I mean, just thrown to the ground. I mean, that is running with purpose. And these two guys are like, hey, man, I think we had very different experiences. Both of them seem spiritual. And also, like, I'm really questioning if this is still a cool place to be. Like, can we just kind of go chill on the sideline and get back to Long Island? Because this dude is a bad man. And because one simply was not enough watching that, we're going to have to watch this again. It's too easy, really. Look, I wouldn't want to tackle this guy. I don't think you would either. I mean, that's just violent, right? I mean, this guy gets it. This guy right here, he gets it. He understands. He sees this in practice all the time, and he knows. He already knows, right? He's like, look, I understand. I get it. I feel your pain. But this man right here, I've just witnessed an exorcism, soul leaving the body. He's seen it. He's a witness to it. Jaden Ball. Look, he's going to be putting amazing stuff on film all year long. I mean, I am so excited about watching what this guy puts on film each and every week. I mean, it's got me darn right giddy about breaking down his film. 1st and 10 now after that Jaden Ball run. We're going to have Livingston come out here to the sideline. He is going to run a hitch or just a sit route. And then you're going to get a corner post. It's going to be double covered here on VB3 and just a fade route that's single covered out here. They actually played quite a bit of solo coverage out here in this game, and Florida really wasn't interested in doing much about that. But this play is definitely for VB3 here, and LIU is ready for it. They're all over it. DJ on this particular play, though, is going to make a much better decision. Opens up to the right, so good read here already, right? He's opened up to the right, right out of the gate. Rewind here. Eyes on. Okay, he's dropping. Not going to have that fade route. ID the center safety, which he's doing right now. Where's the middle safety at? Okay, I've got him. He's high and away towards Vernell's side. Vernell's going to sell. He's going to the corner right here. All right, everything looks good so far. Some vintage DJ stuff. Get to the right foot. Now it's time to throw. Check your read window. Everything here looks good. Read window is there. That is not there. That's a no-go. It's not covered. They've locked it up. And now it's time to move. Eyes across right here to your third receiver. We've read 1, 2, now 3. Full field read. We're good to go. Get the ball out on time. A little pat there. Look, cut the pad out if you can. It's even better, right? Every second you can shave as a QB is even better for you. But this ball is on target to the outside. First down leads to another first down. Good example of what Lagway is excellent at as a freshman. Footwork, platform, reading. That was much, much better than the first drop back in this game. Second down and 3 now inside the 5-yard line. Jaden Ball back there. Why not give it to him again? Well, we're going to see this a lot in this film review, but LIU's defensive line has done some nice stuff. We're going to get a face cross here right into the A-gap as we work all the way over to the intended hole here for the Gators on this inside zone run. And LIU has this completely bottled up, and this play is completely dead. Look at this huge, this is an incredible win from an FCS level defensive lineman. I mean, that is a really, really good face win into the inside zone, right? You want to muddle this up like this. In an inside zone, Florida's, of course, trying to create a two-way go, and now there's nothing in here. Take your lane right here. That's the lane he has available to him. That's where he should go. He needs to hit that lane, and of course, Jaden Ball being Jaden Ball, he does that. Put the head down, make a move, but I mean, this guy has absolutely won his one-on-one battle here, and we've also broken free over here. So now it looks like this is going to wind up being a whole lot of nothing to see third down. And at this point in time, how is it not? I mean, how is that not? But it's not the end because that's Jaden Ball and he's going to walk into the end zone. And that's, yeah, I mean, that play is dead. That play was cooked. Nothing great there from Florida, but Jaden Ball gets it done because that's kind of what he does against everyone. So Florida up 14-0 here. Excellent start to this football game. Things are going the way you want them to go here in Gainesville. End zone cam look gives you just how well LIU performed on this play. Let's look at it here as Harris, right? 77. Harris right here is going to get beat from the jump right here. He's trying to get inside of his shoulder. That's what he's trying to do, right? Every lineman is trying to get in here and create this lane on the inside zone, and he reads this perfectly well and gets in there. I mean, that's just good football. Wins right there. He's inside. You can see his helmet. He's got leverage. Head up. Doesn't matter because somehow, I mean, pause the frame right here. What's happening? What's your bet? That's what's happening. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? And look at 5. Look at 5 right here. 5 gets it. 5's like, arm up. Come on, look at him. Both hands up right here. Shake the head in a second. Look at it, just, come on, man. Shaking the head like, come on, man. Like, really? Yeah, man, this guy does this all the time. Don't feel that bad. It's been a long time, almost maybe forever, I would say, that I've shown you a punt return. I've shown a couple, but it's been a long, long time. And here's one. VB3 became really the most exciting player, I'd say, on the football field on offense for either team on Saturday. And here he is returning a punt, the very first one of his Florida career. Nice little hezzy fake there. Shake a guy off there. And an excellent return. And generating some buzz on the sideline. In the Napier era, punt returns have really not been a thing. The special teams in general have been a rough go until last year. And now right out of the gate, we get a little VB3 sighting. That's pretty nice. Look at this move right here. Quick outside step, split him. Nope. Nice pickup, right? That's hidden yardage that affects football games. Not going to matter for this one, but good to see. Florida opened the first drive in 11 personnel with 3 wide receivers. Now we're back to 12 personnel, which I really feel like is Billy's primary comfort zone here is 12 personnel. I think one of the weaknesses Florida has is neither tight end is really a significant passing threat. So I think teams are able to effectively, again, try to bottle. And you can actually already see this, is why I'm pointing it out. Try to bottle up Florida in here, right? Keep everything in here. Notice how they're going to already show they're dropping back in cover 3, and they're showing they're dropping to the outside. We're going to keep everything in here. We're going to funnel you into this area and make you play in this part of the field. That's going to be our goal. It's a very common tactic versus Billy Napier's Gators. And on this particular play, Florida says, okay, if you're going to show me you're going to pre-snap bail out, let's just take some easy money here and hit this. This is not obviously a block screen, just a quick hot route call by DJ. Let's take my one-on-one out here with this corner, right? If I can get this ball on him fast enough, we can make a move. But here's the reality. LIU did their scouting, right? This is a setup play by LIU. They're expecting this. Notice how quick this corner, as he's backpedaling, he's still looking in. He's looking at Lagway. He's looking at Lagway. And as soon as he sees Lagway open up, which you see right here, right, he's coming downhill. That's perfect technique, by the way, by him. Step back, plant the right foot, drive, shoot through, close the gap, bam. So he's just there a hair late. If he gets there a second earlier, not a real second, but a couple of milliseconds earlier, whatever the case may be, hundreds of a second earlier, he's going to make a tackle for a loss for sure. He's there just a touch late, so he does miss that tackle. However, Florida picks up, 3 or 4. It's an extended run play, but they're ready for that, right? That's a play that LIU is ready for. That was not catching them by surprise. He was not dropping back further where Florida picks up 10 yards. So early on, LIU shows they have a good scout against Florida, and perhaps they put more into this game than maybe some other FCS schools would put into this game. Little gamesmanship there by the Sharks. Billy, what do we have here? Some people call this the monster formation. Could be a quarterback, perhaps, and a quarterback, perhaps, and then a quarterback, a 3-quarterback offense. Those of you that know me personally know I really favor this in a lot of constructs and think there's a lot of room for this, even in real football. It's generally a gimmick formation in tackle football, but in general, this formation, I think, has a lot of actual power. Different conversation for a different day with what could be done with this in the creative realms. There is a high school coach that's run this forever. At a small school level. Kind of a fun thing, but Billy's putting it out here on film at this stage of the season for a reason that I'm sure he has for later. So perhaps we'll see this again in a particular point of the season for a particular reason. But for now, log it away. Monster formation. You can do a lot of different stuff with this. Again, generally a gimmick, trick play formation. This is the part of the field you would use it in typically. Right, coaches like to use this in between the 40s right here as kind of a good spot to try to hit a trick play. So let's keep an eye on that. But for now, we're going to go ahead and close this out. That's not what Florida's going to run, but they're going to give you some of that stuff. We're going to stay in 12 personnel. Now we're going to go into a bunch set formation here on 2nd down and 6. And I want you to watch the defensive line here again. Defensive line. Let's watch what's happening here. Right, and look at this win. Look at that win right there. Come back. Let's rewind the film. And look at what we get from LIU. I mean, this is just fantastic stuff. We're going to get an incredible one-on-one win right here. Right there. Just bam. Engage, win, drive, get into the hole. I mean, that is dominating stuff from an FCS team. Almost make a tackle, right? And then, of course, Jacoby gets it done, throws Livingston out of the way, and picks up a first down. That's another example where against a better team, Florida's that's a TFL. And again, Florida had 11 TFLs in this game. Heroic effort there by Jacoby, but a great play by an FCS school's defensive line. Not something you expect in games like these. Here's one more look at it from the end zone cam. Get a little better view of what's happening here. Instant win. Right off the line, instant win. Overmatches the right guard. Gets in the backfield and has a chance to make a TFL entirely on his own. Now, you kind of get like a mythical, this feels like a mythical pancake. Like, look at this, like, it's not, obviously. Like, really, you've gotten obliterated there. You've lost that battle. We dodged a bullet, and Jacoby gets things done. But really, that's hats off to LIU. Should Florida be concerned about this heading into future opponents as we keep watching this film review? I would say so. I think LIU gave Florida's offensive line a lot to think about, which is probably a blessing for the Gators if you're reading your plus clippings thinking that you're a top 2 or 3 unit in the SEC, maybe a top 10 unit in the country, and you put stuff like this on film, you might think twice about some of those press clippings. LIU with another good scout here of what Billy's offense wants to do and what maybe even DJ wants to do based upon the pre-snap read. Now, I like what DJ's thinking here. He's showing that he's trying to take advantage of the free yardage that may exist. We're going to corner, going to get a corner that looks like he's bailing here, except we're exchanging that for a robber down low on this underneath route here on Sturdivant, the transfer from UCLA. And let's watch and see what this looks like. So at this point in time, Lagway's seen them play a lot of cover 3. Here it is again. He's bailing. He's opening up thinking, I've got this pass out here. Let me get him one-on-one. This could be a big play. If it makes a guy miss, it could be a touchdown, right? However, look how quickly we're coming to rob this route. Again, Sturdivant's head's not even around yet. Questions about concept here. If you want to run this, you would think you'd flow this out here. He's a dropper in cover 3. You have tons of leverage on this linebacker. Why are we running a route straight ahead to get into this window when we can just bubble this out here and create more distance away from this defender? These are just questions I'm asking as a guy who's doing film review, because to me, this right here makes no sense. No sense. If this is the play that you want to run, this is not the route you want to run. This is not a maximum leverage route. It makes no sense at all. If I'm telling you that he's dropping here as a corner, then why in the world are we not gaining max leverage over here? This gives this guy a chance to make a play. He has no chance to make a play, of course, if we're coming over here, right? Now, you might argue throw window is better in here, etc. Nonsense, doesn't matter. You want to give yourself the max window over here, get the right arm angle, and get the ball out here to the boundary. This is a dangerous potential play. It offers little benefit. It also allows the defense to cover you like they are right now. And he is breaking downhill on this pass. He's got a good angle on it. If DJ rips this ball into where he's turning, he does have a line on that pass. So I think that what happened here with DJ is he opened up, thought he had something, and realized, again, look at the angle. Look at where the ball bounces. Look at where the player is. Take a look at this angle. He's here. He's underneath that route. This ball's a good throw. That might be going this way, right? So I don't think DJ just all of a sudden had a noodle arm moment. I think as he threw that, he saw he had been baited, and LIU, again, has done a nice job scouting Florida. So I think DJ rightfully throws that ball into the dirt and says, hey, you got me. Nice work. I'll live to fight another day. 2nd down and 10, Florida still in 12 personnel, 2 tight ends on the field, motioning Livingston across here, Hansen here, and then we've got Sturdivant and VB3 right down here. Going to run a quick screen here to VB3, and VB3 is going to show you already what he's made of. Quick screen here, good footwork. Let's explode out of this and hit the intended gap right here. Need a good block here. Need to come back and get a block here. Need a seal here for this to work. Let's give VB3 a lane. Again, football's a beautiful sport because it does take all 11 guys working together to free him, right? If this doesn't happen, he does not have a lane, but he is going to help himself because we do not get the quality block here. This is essentially a one-on-one situation. We're face up. Going to give him a little head fake here and take this right into the alleyway we want to get into. This is going to be all VB3 right here. There's your fake. And now he's not really even getting touched. Even if he doesn't get this little helping push here, he is not going to be tackled there anyway. Get a nice comeback block here. Nice little touch here. And now we are in business. Off to the races. Another little foot in the ground head fake there, showing his explosiveness, right? Gator chomp, 1st down. Explosive movements there. Quick, decisive vertical cuts. Beautiful stuff. Breakout moments here in the 1st quarter already from VB3. 1st and 10, you're Florida. You're in 12 personnel. You've got 7 blockers in here versus 6 in the box plus a 7th. The strong safety down low here is 8 plus a possible 9. You shouldn't be worried about that. Normally you might say, let's throw the ball, right? You got Lagway, whatever, fine. Let's run the ball. You can kind of do whatever you want versus an FCS opponent, except for the fact that this particular opponent says, no, no, no. Win right here in the A gap. Take a look at what happens right here. And then win right here. Again, Florida is just not going to block this well, right? This is going to be just a straight up zone run right here. It's the bread and butter of Billy Napier's offense. And we've got a free runner here. We've got a win here in the A gap. We've got a backside pursuer. A whole lot of nothing. Contact 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Jacoby fights through that one, takes on another, only to then fumble the football, which Florida falls back on. Damian George gets back on that ball. But look, I mean, this is not a good look here in the 1st quarter for the Gators. This is just too much backfield presence from the Division I FCS school. No offense to them. I'm giving them lots of accolades. This is really, really good stuff. If I'm doing an LIU breakdown, you've got to be super excited. You're facing what's supposed to be one of the better SEC lines, and you're really you're really living a lot in the backfield. On each and every play, somebody's getting home. 2nd and 13 now for Florida. Florida's going to run yet another screen. Again, something we've seen for years now on the channel. This is the 4th year of Billy. We've basically I've looked at every single play on film on the All-22. I've shown you so many of them. Not a surprise here. Florida looking like pre-snap. Maybe they have something on with two down here at the bottom into the boundary. Plenty of space on this side here. Right, we got a lot of space to operate with. Lot to make something happen with. So why not run this quick screen? Except now you can see safety's coming downhill. And look, this is another bait play by LIU. They're well aware of what Florida wants to run here. And watch how quick they close this down. He's already breaking as soon as he sees the screening action here. He's coming downhill. He knows that Florida will run these 2x2 screens when they do not have any help anywhere else. This quick screen that Florida runs is often, in my opinion, not that successful. Yes, that's just me. It's my opinion of it from what I've seen. And here, they are all over it. Again, they have baited Florida into this look fully downhill. Great breakdown right here. By the time he gets there, you can see Trey has just caught the ball. He has no momentum yet. Tries to give his best head fake. He has a really good breakdown. This is excellent technique, by the way. Great job here by him. And then Trey's like, cool, gotta try to get out of here. And I can't. I mean, I'm bottled up. I'm dead right there, right? That is a win for LIU. Again, reading the mail here early on, baiting Florida into looks they think they have, when in reality, it's exactly what LIU expects. 3rd and 13, Florida and 11 personnel here. 3 receivers, 1 tight end right here. We're going to get a little in route, just a little drag route from him. Vernell is going to run a post to the far post over here. Wheel route from Trey. And then you're going to get a seam route right here from Sturdivant. This ball should go to the seam route to Sturdivant. Again, this is not clean for me from DJ, in my opinion. On the All-22, there is a throw here to Sturdivant for sure. But mainly, DJ's pocket presence is what is really lacking on this particular play. Let's watch what we saw before. Remember, you're looking for the opening, get a read. So right away, he's watching the safeties because he knows his primary read from what it looks like to me based upon what he's looking at. Again, I can never tell. Every single video, I give a disclaimer. I don't know exactly what the readout is on this. I'm not sure who Florida is telling him to go to first, but I can tell you where he's looking first, of course. That's helpful, right? And we know for sure that he's looking here first. Why is he looking here? Because the primary read, I would imagine, is going to be VB3, and he wants to see what is happening on this part of the field with the center safety, and then is there a dropper, which the answer is yes, and yes, that play is going to be dead. So let's go ahead and X that out, and then we'll keep rolling the tape. Now we can see that he notices that, plant the right foot. Now it should be decision time. If you didn't like that, by the time you get to this point, you should now be going to your number 2 read, which in this case really should be your seam route, right? If your safety here, if you're single high, or your center safety in this case, if they're dropping 3, is going to flow this way, then you want to get over here and read what he's doing, because if he flows this way, you then go here, and that is your 1, 2, 3 readout, right? Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. That's most likely what you would assume the case to be here. But from Lagway's decision making, it's a little bit trickier to figure out what exactly is going on, because he does not, right foot hits the ground. He seemingly never checks Sturdivant. He's still right now looking really at just VB3, and then he's got a great pocket here. Look, Florida's got great protection. We are totally safe, completely buttoned up. Right foot hits the ground, stay in the pocket, do not escape like this. Where are you going? It's 3rd down and 13. You have 3 vertical routes. You're a vertical thrower, stay in the pocket. He's out of there, runs right into a sack on his own accord. And that to me is just rust. He's not comfortable, right? Hasn't played a lot of football. In previous film scenarios, this was something he'd be hitting home runs on. But he does not. He does not in this case. Not a good grade for me for him on this one. The helmet's not making sense. Where he's looking is not making sense. Very simple read structure here for him, and a player of his caliber. Should be a touchdown ripped right here to Sturdivant. And instead, Florida takes a sack on 3rd and 13. So I think DJ wants that one back. The good thing about DJ is you know that he's a student of the game, and I think that rust can only be worked out with reps. And I know that Billy loves to talk about sort of being a modified practice player, and you kind of study all these things. That's really cute and fun and nice, but there is no substitute for reps. And DJ's still a young quarterback, and he missed all the spring and almost all the fall. And those are crucial reps for a young player. So I think it's really good that Florida has this kind of rolling entry into their season because we're going to see more of this rust in this game. I'm not concerned over the long run, but in this one game scenario, he was not the Lagway we've seen on film from last year in some respects. After watching every snap of Billy Napier's here at Florida, I do have to hand it to him. He is a remarkably consistent coach. Every coach will run the same plays. That's true of everyone. You don't need, a 5,000-page playbook. Of course, I myself am a fan of air raid, and air raid can spend. You might run 50+% of your plays in 4 verticals in a game. You might run mesh half the time. Mike Leach did that at every university he was at in college football. He's spending, half a game running mesh, half a game running 4 verts, right? And there's adjustments to those plays within the shell of that play. You can run the same play, but ideally you're running those plays because they're very productive. This play that I offer you, hard to find the last time this play really was productive. There's a lot of examples on this channel where it was not productive in very big moments. And look, I think it's safe to say teams know how they want to play this look from Florida. Does this look like LIU does not know what's about to happen here and that they're uncomfortable with what Florida is doing on this jet sweep motion? I don't know. You ask yourself here what you think is happening, right? I mean, they are flying to the ball, beating a block here, beating a block here, beating a block here. I mean, they've got 3 guys home free, and now here's Trey, 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. What's he supposed to do here, right? This play should be catching them off guard to where he's got a chance to get up to this part of the field before anything is happening to him, but he's already facing trouble. I mean, he's squeezed right here. What are you going to do? Sure, Barry Sanders gets out of that. Maybe Jaden Ball gets out of that. Not many people get out of that situation. Doesn't matter who you're playing. That's a 2-on-1. He's going to try to pick a tackle there, and he's not. That's also a good tackle. But look, LIU well prepared for what Florida wants to do in this game. Florida was 7 points nearing the end of the first quarter and a whole bunch of negative plays. 2nd and 14 now, Jaden Ball in, give him the ball. That's a good idea. Let's take a look at what happens at the front of Florida's offensive line. 3-man front, 4-man rush. Pause. Look at this. We're home free. We're in right here, instantly in. Is this a top 2 or 3 line in the SEC right now on film? I'm glad football's not just 1 week. It's a whole season, right? You can put some bad stuff on film, but I mean, is that a good look right there? Does that look like a dominant unit to you? Ball's going to make a guy miss and still make some positive yardage out of this. But I mean, again, every single play, seemingly, someone is breaking home free against the Florida front 5. 3rd down and 10 now for Florida. There's perhaps not a better play to show the rust that Lagway has right now, just from his timing, right? If Daniel Warfel were here doing this film review with me, he would talk about how much time was spent in college just on timing, especially in Spurrier's offense, where everything was timed to the second and to the hash mark. If you're running a post route, you break at this exact point, at this exact time, at this exact angle, and the ball is placed on this spot, right? A timing offense. No matter what kind of offense you're running with your passing attack, it is going to be based upon timing, especially for a quarterback where you want that back foot to hit, and then you want to be delivering your ball, or then climbing a step and going to your 2nd or 3rd read, depending upon the progression. We're going to see Lagway here get to the right foot. Everything here is good. He's reading his read window on the left side. Right foot is here. Okay, what we've got here is you got Trey underneath. You got VB3 here, and you got a clear out over top. VB3 is wide open coming over these linebackers, but underneath the safety is completely wide open. DJ sees him right now. Everything should be good to go. But one more time, right foot hits. We should be confident where we're going with the ball right now. We should be taking 1 drive step and throwing the football. There's our step. We're still holding on to the football here. And now we're going to throw this ball a little late. Now, can this ball still be thrown? Yeah, because he's wide open. But this timing is off because DJ is just a little rusty, a little uncomfortable. Timing's not quite right. Perhaps not trusting exactly what he sees, just a little beat off, right? Everything's just a little bit off. This is to be expected. We talked about this on the podcast in general. This is a throw he makes in his sleep right here. He nails this by a mile for a quarterback of his standards. If he completes this, we've got an additional 10, 15, 20 yards. It becomes a nice big chunk play. So just a big miss here. from DJ, clean pocket. Everything is there, but you can just tell from the drop back and the footwork that things just aren't quite right. He's not quite comfortable even throwing to a wide open receiver there. And that's again why Florida should be thankful. We're thankful that we opened up with LIU and then we opened up with a good USF team, but not a team that's a top 20 opponent, somebody that can really give you problems or is equally talented as you. Because look, a game like this with the way Florida's offense played could have easily been a loss or at least a very close game versus a quality opponent. Florida's offense just was not clean in this game, again, as Lagway himself said. Now here's a redemption shot from Smack, who's going to bury a 56-yarder after missing a much shorter field goal. So Florida does go up 17-0. But not pretty stuff. 10 points from the offense, two short fields essentially, and a free defensive touchdown. Yep, I'm going to do it a second time here. I'm going to show you another punt. Because why not? We can. Again, the most electric play of the game really was VB3 touching the ball at any point in time. And here it is again. Pause. You got to love it. 1, 2, and 3. VB3 is like, I like those odds. Those odds are in my favor. 3 guys, that's not enough. Maybe 4, I would have thought about a fair catch. But 3, that's not enough. Whoop, split them. Bingo. Hidden yardage. 20 more yards. Hidden yardage, right? That will change games if you can do this against SEC level opponents. It will add points to Florida's point total and ledger. Really nice stuff there by 8. 1st and 10 after that VB3 return, and Florida is going to have a big play here to Sturdivant. Trey's coming over the top. This is maybe the most classic of all Billy plays right here with these crossers at various levels. Florida runs a lot of different concepts of this play. This particular one here is going to free up Sturdivant as we run off the dropping cover 3 corner and leave Sturdivant into a big gap on the right side. The only problem is LIU is going to bring 4 rushers, just 4 rushers. Here they are right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Florida is going to have their 5 blocking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 6th for good measure. So we have 6 versus 4, SEC level Florida versus LIU FCS. Who do you think wins that battle? It's still 6 versus 4. We're going to release the running back out here into the flat, pull linebacker with him, still 6 versus 4. DJ IDing the left side, knowing right now that he does not have this. It's a no-go. Not going to happen. Not going to be there. They're all on Trey's side. They are paying attention and they're occupying him. Right foot hits the ground. At this point in time, you'd like to see him slide and then read Sturdivant, who's just now getting into his window. He's not going to read Sturdivant first. He's going to read the high side over here to see if it's cleared. And as he's about to do that, at least what I think he's about to do, again, you can never know for sure, he's going to get instead the read window. Now, look, I have to tell you that looking at his helmet, it does look like he's really only looking down here where there's not a ball. His head is not moving where I would expect it to be, more over here. Could he see that? Sure, right? Just looking at the helmet's not exactly perfect. You could see what I'm talking about, but not exactly snappy reads from Lagway. But more importantly on this play is that you have this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 4. FCS versus SEC. How does this happen? If we get our protection right here, Lagway should identify Sturdivant for a huge gain, possibly a touchdown. If he doesn't, that'd be entirely on Lagway. So I don't love what looks to be Lagway's readout here yet again. I don't say that very often. Last year, typically his readouts were great. I don't love it. And now I've got to escape because we've got trouble. And we're going to take, we're going to take 9 yards. So on first down, that play goes as a 9-yard gain. Everything looks fine and dandy, but a missed opportunity for a big piece of chunk yardage and a very easy pitch and catch, partially because the readout looked a little wonky, but mainly because, once again, LIU finds themselves in Florida's backfield. 2nd down and 1. Florida still in 11 personnel with 3 receivers here. That is the second most popular formation Napier runs, so nothing surprising here. We are going to try to hit VB3 again in the same play that Lagway missed earlier. Why not revisit it? Probably still going to be there, and it is going to be there. This is a tougher throw than the first time he missed it. There goes Trey at the bottom of the screen. Trey's clearing out. Sturdivant's clearing out, and we're really just going to be hitting this right in between the safeties and the linebackers. Pretty simple work here from Lagway. Plant the right foot. Climb the pocket, stay in the pocket, set your feet. This is better now. Again, look what he's got in front of him. Could be tempting. That's an easy first down and probably 7 or 8 yards in a slide. But instead, he's going to quickly trust the read, and this is more like Lagway. And what I mean by that is right foot hits, drive step, clear in the pocket, resettle, and then throw. Now, this should, in my opinion, still be a little quicker, but you can see just by the footwork that he's not worried about the pressure here. He's not trying to overly climb up here. He's keeping his eyes downfield. He gets on platform to deliver this ball and then delivers a nice pass. Not a perfect pass, still behind VB3, still rusty, still not trusting, slinging this out in front of him, but progress from where we were and a redemption shot. I like Napier giving a redemption shot on that pass, and it's a smart thing to do. Let him hit the pass he missed earlier. And again, this one was a tougher pass, tighter window. We make it through and pick up another first down. 1st and 10, Florida in a split back look here with Trey. Trey's back here. LIU's thinking, hey, this is probably going to be something for Trey. He's going to wind up finishing the day with 5 receptions for -4 yards versus an FCS school. I'm sure that he went home thrilled with that. I'm sure his friends love joking with him about that. But what you could say elite athlete versus, Division I second tier athletes, but these guys are on it. I mean, this guy's making reads consistently. He's coming downhill. He's making a read. Trey just now gets the ball, gets his head turned around. He's taking the perfect outside angle right here. Exactly what you want to do. Outside leverage. Let your boys come help you, right? We talked about this on Florida's defensive video. Let your boys come help you right here. Good work by him. And then Trey tries to get to the outside because that's where Florida wants this play to go. We're trying to get out here behind our blocker. And instead, he's going to get just wrangled down right here. It's just LIU is ready for these plays. We had half jokingly, but also seriously said in the podcast beforehand that Florida could line up and run 4 verticals every single play, and there's not a daggone thing LIU could do to stop them. They could score probably 2 or 3 play touchdowns on almost every drive. Now, 4 verticals doesn't mean you just always run 4 verticals, right? There's rules to how you might alter your route. But the bottom line is they just have no match for Florida's speed and athleticism. But when you play like this, they can do it, right? You're putting yourself into a box. You're running these very basic screens that you put on film a lot. Yes, it's LIU. Yes, it's just one of those things. But look, Trey's frustrated, right? Trey wants the ball, but also Trey wants the ball in space. And teams are just really well aware of how Florida wants to use Trey. And Florida might be wise to figure out some new ways with how they want to use Trey, because the old ones, I think, even teams like LIU are just all over it. All right, yet another 3rd and long. You're calling the plays here. What do? You got 3 receivers. You got your tight end coming out here. You got a running back, right? 11 personnel. What do you might want to wind up trying to challenge this team with? They're showing 4 down linemen. Doesn't look like any kind of blitz threat, at least at the forefront of things. Your offensive line should be able to handle them. Probably have a lot of options available to you. And instead, you think to yourself, hey, look at this. We've got 3 on 1. Now, these numbers are here for this. 3rd down and 10. You do have 3 on 1. This is a good look for a screen. This is the right look for a screen. You're +2 on the numbers with your help side defenders being out-levered by about a good 10 yards here, right? With the safety who's going to be the one that comes down. So let's get out here. Let's get out here. Get those 2 blocks. Get upfield here. Get upfield here. Let's give our athlete a chance to make a play, right? That's what you're hoping for. Ball gets to the outside, and we immediately do not get a block right here, right? So there's a miss by Hansen. No block there. Miss right into him, and now that is all it takes. The thing with these screenplays, the reality with any one of these screenplays, is if you do not seal this block cleanly and immediately, then all of the timing is not going to work, right? This block's got to get kicked out here or sent here to where he can immediately get going. And if that happens, these guys don't get there. But if this is not perfectly handled here, which it is not perfectly handled here, then this is what happens. Nothing happens. You pick up 3 yards on 3rd down and 10 when you're the vastly superior team athletically, and you're putting yourself in tight spaces in a little booth. It's just, at times it's hard to understand. It is what it is. I know I'm beating a dead horse here. I know that I don't favor this style of offense in many regards, but at some point, you know what I do favor? Production. All I really care about is production. As long as the Gators are producing, it can be something I dislike or something I like. Let's just be productive. And so far in this game, we're at 17, yet another field goal attempt. 39-yarder here, one that Smack's going to miss. One that misses a 40 and a 39-yarder, but It's just not pretty. It's game one. It's not pretty. It's film review. We're here to tell the good, bad, and the ugly. The defense was nothing but praise. The offense, just quite the opposite. Second and goal. Now Florida with a productive run on first down. They find themselves at about the 2.5-yard line. You certainly are going to be able to run the ball in here, right? Take a power run or a zone run, whatever you want. I mean, certainly you're going to be able to get the ball in the end zone versus an overmatched FCS opponent, right? That's what you would expect to happen. Let's bring a motion man across, right? Try to clear him out of the picture so he can't help and just maximize the numbers in our favor. Hand this off to Jackson. And I mean, win. That's a win. This is a win, right? Serious problem here at the right tackle spot in this football game. We're good here. We're good here. That's what this should look like. The right tackle getting blown up into the backfield. Not good. Here's your unblocked man by design. That's okay because we should be pushing this out here. But look at this. That's not okay. We've got 1, 2, and now we've got a pusher, right? And he's assigned, just his blocker, but we're pushing into the backfield, and now he's surrounded. Engage right there. That's before the line of scrimmage. Getting tackled. I mean, who's the FCS team here? I don't know. Third down and goal. If you've watched the channel for any amount of time, you know that I am a huge fan of empty sets, especially in college football, especially when your quarterback, no matter what team you're on, has done a lot of what you would consider to be wide open passing, either in 2x2 formations or empty formations, and they show that they are comfortable in such things. So I'm highly supportive of emptying it out. Now, Florida emptying it out on the 4-yard line versus an FCS opponent is an interesting move, but look, I still like it because now you're going to force these guys to be more athletic than what Florida has, and you've got a quarterback in Lagway who can very easily take this 4 yards for the score. So you have to defend all parts of the field, and you could also just as easily lose your immediate one-on-one route battle, right? And you are going to be dead. And there it is. Look at Lagway. And you can kind of see too, maybe I'm overplaying this, right? Because I favor 5 wide, but you can see with quarterbacks, no matter who you're watching, your team, opposing teams, just kind of how confident they might be in certain looks that feel very familiar to them. With DJ, I think in this game, the looks that he's run the most of in his life naturally before Florida, most likely to show up on film as the ones he's not as rusty with because he's done it so many times. And right away here, gets on the back foot, confident sling, far side of the field. This is a long throw. This is the hardest way to score when you're emptying it out and going 5 wide, right? As far as you can possibly throw this football over here. And now here's Trey, who's like, hey, thank you, coach, for not making me run a route in the backfield and letting me run this very simple little speed out over here where I beat my defender by 5 yards. Again, imagine if Florida's running 4 verticals all the time and you could run any kind of combination of post, corner, go from all 4 guys along with some comebacks. I mean, what are they going to do? Nothing. They're going to be wide open, right? So Trey is in fact wide open, and this ball is a little overthrown. So it's not DJ's best ball, right? I mean, that's a heck of a grab right here. With all that space, it's a serious, serious grab. And Trey doing nice work there to get into the end zone. So rewarded after a very frustrating first quarter and a half for him. He snags a touchdown, gets in the end zone, Florida on the board. The first of what's now going to be 3 touchdowns in a row. So Florida does get it rolling here in the second quarter. They get things a little bit more on schedule after the short field here, but emptied out on the 4-yard line to score a touchdown here for Lagway and the Gators. Well, game 1 for Florida, we've not yet seen split zone featured, and of course I believe this is Florida's best running play on the 4th year now with Billy. This play consistently year in and year out is the most productive play for Florida on film, right? Florida's productive in all sorts of different run looks. Billy's a good run game coordinator. But the split zone is really, I think, what Florida is perhaps best at right here, and you're going to see it in action again. Jaden Ball back in the game. Going to pull your tight end across, and you're going to split the zone, giving the running back a choice here. Am I coming in here? Am I coming in here? Right, tough. Look, it's tough. Florida's a tough team to prepare for running-wise because they run power and they run zone, and they're so effective at using their tight ends in split zone and also motioning off of this and just running power and running any other combination you could think of. So they execute all of them. But split zone, just for whatever reason, seems to be the one that Florida's team blocks the best and handles the best. And you can see this here. This is a teach tape of offensive line blocking. I mean, this is absolutely perfect. Going to get a seal here, right? Coming through here. I mean, that is a home run. That is everything you want. super ideal. And now you got Jaden Ball bursting through here as he does. Just hits the hole with so much speed. I mean, to think that he's already 9 yards up the field is remarkable. I mean, just so quick. If you look at where he starts, look at where 2 is, right? Look at where 2 is here. And then let's look at where Jaden winds up. I mean, 2's gone like 2 yards in the time Jaden goes 7. Whew, man. I mean, that's just good stuff. Glad he's on our team, right? Now he's got a safety left. He sees pay dirt. And man, if that guy just doesn't tangle him up there, might be off for a much bigger game. But yet another chunk play for Jaden Ball, who was the best player on the field for either team in this game. Just doing work out there. 1st and 10, Florida's going to take a shot here. Was going to be a big gain to Vernell Brown, who had 3 people around him at a dropping corner underneath, a safety too shallow. This ball is going to be complete by Lagway. Or if they had gone down here, it's going to wind up being a touchdown, a walk-in touchdown. Nobody covering over here. But we don't get that far into the read, and Lagway was never going to wind up looking at him because he had already pulled the trigger. But the reason this play does not work is Livingston right here is going to lose this one-on-one battle. And that is going to cause this play not to be as successful as it would have been or should have been. Lagway right foot hits, climbs the pocket, and now 4 has won this battle, is free to the quarterback, and as Lagway gets ready to sling to his target on platform, ready to throw, gets contacted, and this ball then goes nowhere near the target. Now, by the time it gets here, this is tight, right? The window Lagway is hitting is here, but look at this part of the screen. And that's not, by the way, on the all-22, it's not because he was covering both of them and then left over here. The reason he's all the way over here is he was running over there before Lagway threw it. There's no one covering. It's a busted coverage here. No one is covering this. Lagway never looked at it. Obviously, it wasn't there. He was throwing this ball right away. So again, I just think that for me, for a player of Lagway's caliber, he should be read windowing that safety. Pre-snap coverage looks like perhaps cover 3, right? ID that safety rolling over there, and then 1 read shot underneath corner touchdown. I mean, that's something he's done before. So again, I'm going to say rust here. We'll keep an eye on it. That ball bounces short because he gets hit. I do think he completes that otherwise, but does take that hit. And, another guy in the backfield. Just not pretty stuff here. All right, 2nd down 10. Let's empty this out again. Let's go 5 wide here and see what we can do. Florida in 11 per. So we've got 3 receivers, running back, tight end out there in our 5 wide. Again, to me, you could just forverts this and score touchdowns all day, but that's not what we're going to do, and we're not here for that here, breaking down Florida's offense. What we are here for, though, is a very simple completion on Billy's favorite play. I really think this is his favorite play. This is all hitches. Have not seen this yet today. Here we are. We're getting it right now. All hitches across the board, different levels of hitches. Get a nice win from Hansen. Little shove off here, clear space, get in the window. VB3, by the way, cooks his man over here on this hitch route. He's the most open. Really clean route from him over there. Nice stuff. But we've got an easy throw, climb the pocket, step up in here, and stick this ball to Hansen, which we do, and we pick up an easy 15 yards out of empty. So far, Florida's empty sets have been paying dividends in this particular game. Really hitting all parts of the field here. And again, just an easy ball. Climb the pocket. You see 5 flashing, by the way. Just one more time in here. Let me get this in here. Good to see. Look at 5. Right here. There he is. Coming through. Coming through the lane. Getting some pressure. Is what it is, right? Good ball by DJ. Good pick up there by 89. All right, very next play, 1st and 10. Just a 4-man front here. That's it. All there is, 4-man front. And again, we're in here. I'm not sure what's happening here, but we're in here right away. Just immediately in right away. All the way back 3 yards into the backfield. And now we're in here with pursuit. Coming back in over here. And ball's got nowhere to go. And down he goes. Another TFL for Long Island. 2nd and 12 here. Jaden Ball back in the game. Give him the ball. Let's hit a little outside zone here and let him work some magic, please. Good blocking here at the point of attack. Kick out, wall off, right? That's the goal. Wall this off, kick this out, give your guy a hole, get the lead blocker out there. Everything looks pretty good right now. Let's see how the hole holds up. Yeah, it's not perfect. We lose a little bit there, but then you can still see we get a split here and a split here, so it works out just fine. Squeeze right on through there, Ball. Make a guy miss as he does. Make another guy miss, and then just a few more left. But man, yeah, Jaden Ball right here, 13. He is going to be living on this film review all season long. Enjoy it. First and goal now. Florida could not run successfully last time down here, so why not slip a tight end out for a tried and true tutty at all levels of football? Always a good idea. Highly in favor of that, especially on first and goal. Great plan. There he is. Good job sneaking. Take a look at Hansen here. Does his best sneaky sneak. Kind of I'm blocking. I'm not blocking anymore. You're looking this way. It's all over. Easy touchdown for me. I'll take that. There he goes. Out the backside. Touchdown. Also had an even more open receiver here. Check for the play design on that one. Easy touchdown. Florida on the board for 30. Extra point making it 31-0. First and 10, 151 left, and empty this out, and let's go all hitches because that is the favorite play of Billy. Also, hey, look, minute 50 left. It's a great opening play. They're going to wind up giving you everything you want. You're not going to wind up wanting to run some more vertical style offense. Just take some safe 10-yard plays here. See what happens. Matriculate the ball down the field, as they say. Nice little pickup of 7 yards there as we head into second down. Second and 3 now, still in empty. Florida's going to run basically 3 hitches, hitch, and then 2 seams. I love seams. Love throwing seams. One of my favorite patterns in general in football for a lot of reasons. Also a really comfortable throw from a quarterback because generally speaking, the safety, especially in this look, just can't really do anything. Good offenses, when you're spreading the field wide like this, make a center safety almost irrelevant, depending on where you're able to put the ball. It's one of the nice things about it. And Lagway opens up, reads, right? Here's his read window. Let's go one more time. Reading the center safety right there. Reads the right seam. Right here, open up. Take a look at the safety. Read the right seam. Come to the left seam. Look at your left seam. Take your matchup right here. If he's inside and high, I've got a window. Put it out in front of him. I know it's going to wind up being a safe throw right on time. So I like everything about what Lagway does here. He shorts this ball just a little bit, but Sturdivant gets held, and Sturdivant right here is heavily held and slowed up. This ball right out here gets the job done, but even where that ball is thrown, it's perfectly fine. Generates a penalty on time with confidence and conviction, and the flag is there, and you can kind of see he's celebrating, and he's like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, I'm getting mugged. And you would be correct. That's exactly what happened. So move the chains there for Florida. Quick, decisive trigger there from Lagway. After LIU jumps offside, it's first down and 5. And this is not Lovett's best game here, right? Redshirt sophomore, just not his best game. Not his best day at the office. I don't want to even imagine what this could mean for the future. I'm just going to hope this is a bad game and a throwaway game for him, because 5 and 4, both of these guys were really living in Florida's backfield, and this is just a one-on-one loss, right? He's one-on-one here, and he's just going to get beat and beat badly and quickly, and that's going to derail this play, which is 3 hitches, flat route, and then 3 hitches. So an all-hitch drive for the most part here is going to get derailed by immediate pressure in Lagway's face. Lagway's going to escape that pressure, live to dump this off to Jacoby, who's going to survive to lose a yard on that play. Again, another player in the backfield almost immediately. Second down and 6. This is going to wind up being the excellent VB3 catch. It really should have been a very easy touchdown. Trey's going to run just a get-out-of-town route. It's going to pull the safety over here. VB3 is going to run an over route, which is going to be completely open on this particular play. Hansen's going to wind up running a hitch down over here. You get a flare out here from Jacoby. Just a little flat route, really. And then ultimately, you've got Sturdivant running a route here. So that's your route tree. That's what you got going on. It's going to be wide open. Vernell's wide open. I mean, pretty much from the second he gets right here, there's nothing but beautiful green grass over here for a touchdown. Lagway never really looks at him. And once again, Interesting readout here. Hard to exactly make sense of what is happening. At this point in time here, if you're Lagway reading this, you've got a dropper and a safety rolling. I mean, that is a no-go. You're going to theoretically come off of that pretty quickly. I would imagine your I read next, theoretically, on this kind of progression where you're going to have a crosser here and a crosser here, would be to come here. Okay, that safety's gone. Do I have a dropper here? Has he immediately vacated? If he has not, I have a touchdown here, and I know it. But that's not what happens here. As we roll it, he's still looking to the left. Protection is solid. We're still looking left. Now we come to the right just for a second to only then look back left again. It's pretty confusing. And now we locate the very wide open Vernell Brown. We see him now. VB3 is wide open. Okay, rip this ball. And rip it Lagway does. The only problem is Vernell ran his route like this, facing the right way, all kinds of grass. This safety was here. He's now come all the way literally back around like this at this point in time because he realizes, oh no, we've got a bust over here. Vernell was on this route. Then he turned around to face DJ and started backpedaling, as you see now. Had he just stayed on this tangent line like he was, this is a perfect throw and a walk-in touchdown, albeit very late from Lagway. So Lagway's late on the read window. Now the ball's out. Now Vernell Brown's committed sort of the mortal sin of, you don't want to turn back to your quarterback when you've got an underneath defender here, right? This is not a comeback route. You don't want to open up flat-footed and face this way. You want to keep drifting into all the grass. Give your quarterback all the grass to land into. So, freshman mistake here. He turns all the way around. Or perhaps he's outplaying all of us because this is what he wanted all of us to see. Right? Rather than have a dainty walk-in kind of boring wide open touchdown versus an overmatched opponent, this, on the other hand, is something people will remember. Much more memorable than a kind of a boring walk-in touchdown showing off the hands. I mean, this is just filthy stuff on a 40-yard pass right here. I mean, that is nice. So yeah, hats off to you, VB3, for sort of playing all of us here and letting us know that this is a much more satisfying catch than walking into the end zone. And you know what? You're right about that. Real man of genius, some might say here. Just exciting stuff. I mean, every single quarter, he's doing really exciting things with the football in his hands. And that's Dallas Wilson, who I'm just now naming for the first time, didn't even play in this game. And he's the guy who's really supposed to be perhaps the most electric guy. Maybe VB3 has something to say about that. Hey, Dallas, let's see if you could hit that pose as a freshman. I mean, that is awesome. I think even this guy is like, okay, I'm getting my money's worth here. Lifetime memory for me in the swamp, full crowd. And I got this guy going fully horizontal, stretching out. I mean, that is nice. The only thing that would have made this better is if he just held onto it just like this all the way to the ground. But hey, what a catch. I mean, that is spectacular. Again, I love the crowd reactions. Yeah, you got it. You know it. That's exactly right. He's just full of glee over here. But this guy, he's like, are you serious? I mean, this is fantastic. And then this guy, look at this. This, by the way, is the TV timeout guy. All he does is watch football every single Saturday and holds his little sign that pisses everyone off. Well, you know what? He's pretty stoked about that catch, right? Oh, man, that's good stuff right there. All right, 1st and goal. Just going to roll this clip. Florida just unable to really run the ball with any success in the red zone right here. Picked up a couple. Nothing great. It's another extra run there, setting up 2nd down and goal from the 4. Really nice drive so far, 1 minute into the drive. And we are all the way down on the 4-yard line. And another look here from this angle. I mean, he's fully in the air, fully outstretched on a 40-yard pass here. He's in the air for a while. He just touches the ground right there, right? Yeah, I mean, that's clean living right there. It's fantastic stuff. Making his dad proud, making himself proud, making his friends proud, making all the people in the crowd proud. Pylon angle. I mean, come on. Sensational stuff. Just sensational stuff there from VB3. All right, 2nd down and goal. Can Florida get the ball in the end zone? Running it. No, they cannot. Again, who are we playing here? What defensive front are we up against? Look at the formation that LIU has here too. Let me just pause, just take a second to appreciate this. We have 3 down linemen here and a 4th way over here, right? We've got a jumble way off the ball. In theory, Florida should be able to run power here. They could even double, solo, right? Pull through, block here, and basically give a downhill run. These guys will fill, but they could sure up the first part and let Jacoby roll in. But instead, we get immediate penetration, immediate shoot through the gap penetration right here and right here, right? I mean, here we go. And then right here, there's another one. And I mean, I got to tell you, like, if I'm in the coaching room this week in Gainesville and I'm an offensive line coach, I am having a serious week with my guys. Like this is not sustainable. This is how you will lose football games against opponents that are equal to your skill level. You will not win playing like this. All right, 3rd and goal. No need to worry, though, because Florida's now in the empty set, which we reserve for certain situations when we get serious about wanting to score. Sturdivant's just going to run a simple little fade here, giving DJ the option to throw this in a multitude of ways. He can go back pylon. He's going to wind up throwing back shoulder. A lot of options with this route here, 1-on-1 on the right side. And again, to me, Lagway, he just is very comfortable in these sets that are more empty, and you can tell by his footwork. Don't just trust me. Watch the timing of when he gets rid of this ball. Here's Sturdivant setting up the route. He knows he's inside. He's looking at Sturdivant. All we need is a release and then a head turn. He turns his head to chase. Lagway knows he can't play defense not looking. He's going to let this ball rip. And he's looking at the window. Right foot. Look at the timing. Right foot lands. There it is right there. It lands. Right foot lands. Ball is out immediately. No wasted time. No extra patent. No hesitation. Trust what your eyes see. Rip this ball right to the back shoulder, right past the defender who feels like, I got great coverage on this guy. I'm fine. In there for 6 with 14 seconds and counting. I mean, that is a excellent throw. That's the kind of stuff Lagway's capable of. Again, I fully expect him to knock the rust off. He will still be a sophomore. He is going to still make mistakes, right? He's not a senior quarterback. He's still getting reps, but that's the kind of stuff he can do when he's confident and feeling good. Great ball, great touchdown, great close to the half. Again, not a pretty half. 3 straight touchdowns there from Florida. For every good play, there's 1 or 2 not so good ones and 1 downright bad one a lot of the times, and a lot of it emanating from, of course, what was happening up front. So Florida's got a lot to clean up before USF, but going into the half, Florida up 31-0. True freshman Tramel Jones in here at quarterback now in the second half. Going to play the entire second half, so I guess we know now who Florida's backup quarterback is. A 4-star recruit. Played very nicely in this game. And here's TJ Abrams, a guy I like and I hope to get some time in the rotation, especially after what he put on film today. Very fast guy, talented guy. Really good route runner in this game. You're going to see it on display here. Watch him run this stutter stop route here. It's a hitch route deep, though, kind of a little comeback route. Just really good stopping action, head fake, comeback to the ball. Creates a ton of separation off this dropping corner for a very easy completion. We'll roll the film. Keep that on the bottom of your screen. I'm going to let it roll right here and slow it down for you. You can see dropping corner, eyes on the backfield. He's ready to plant the foot and react to come downhill if this is going to be that kind of route. Good technique for this kind of play. But if you can keep Abrams in your viewpoint there, really nice route. Full speed, hard stop, get low, drive back to your quarterback. Really clean pocket here. Let's go back and look at Tramel, right? Let's see, make sure that we've got him doing what he should be doing. Rewind it, look at the right foot. Okay, right foot hits. He's a little early on that plant. Got through his progression a little quick for that, but patiently waiting. Good clean pocket. Stand tall in the pocket. Still waiting for his target. This is one of the easier throws you can have, right? Throw right to a guy's chest. And he does. But the key here is look at how much separation TJ has generated here, right? A ton of separation. And that's all on him running this route. So much so He's able to turn the corner and generate even more. I mean, that is really good route running. Really, really good stuff there from 4 on film for a piece of chunk yardage for the freshman quarterback. All right, 3rd down and 3 now. Florida driving with the backups in. But what do you do against the vaunted front 4 here of LIU? What can you do versus them? Here they are, kind of the 4 horsemen. Now we're going to pile on 2 more. You only have 6 in the box here. Again, Florida's got 5, 6. We're equal to the task. We're even numbers. We got a quarterback who can run the ball too. Totally fine here. We're 6-on-6 football. Should be hat on hat. And instead, we get an A-gap breach where no one is even really interested in blocking him. So a missed protection there. Missed an ID there. Right? Having a hard time IDing the mic, sliding protection. I mean, take the handoff and get tackled. Yeah, this stuff happens in the SEC when you're playing another SEC team. It's football. But man, oh man, I mean, again, if this is an LIU defensive film breakdown, this is heroic stuff. Like, this is what you would dream of, right? I'm pretty confident that obviously LIU's head coach is a defensive coach who's been in the SEC before, probably went home feeling really, really good about what his guys did versus Florida on defense. 1st down and 10 after Florida got stopped on their previous drive. Someone's going to run a wrong route here. TJ is going to run sort of what looks to be a double slant, then go over the top, kind of running it vertical to the seam, and then we're going to get a deep dig here. And they're going to wind up being both in the same area, which is definitely not correct, but it's going to work out as Abrams is going to be wide open. I have no idea who did anything wrong right here. There you can see the step in, release. As soon as he releases him, he's in wide open grass. Jones reading right to left here early on. And then nice climb, right? This is what you want to see from a quarterback. This is confident quarterback play, right foot on. Your read is not here. Now we clear, drive step, clear, and get your head into your next read window. It's perfect. Next read window, get your head into there, locate that read window, which we locate, get loaded up, deliver a confident pass, right? Strike right there. And you can see that these 2 guys are buddies running the route together. Again, not where they're supposed to be. But regardless, it's going to work out. And there's 4 again on the end of that pass. Big chunk yardage. Really nice stuff there, though, from Jamel Jones. Right? Really capable stuff. You can see why they might want to trust a true freshman to a backup role. A little bit unconventional. Typically, you want your backups to be a veteran guy who can kind of manage the team in the event that your starter's out for a game or 2. You're not looking for a guy that has a higher ceiling without experience, but you can see what's going on film here, that Jones is the guy capable of running a clean offensive operation and also, judging by that pocket presence, able to deliver balls with confidence, making a full field read there, at least a half field read in that case, but an on-time delivery, a confident throw, and getting in and out again of the offense with each and every play. So a lot of confidence being placed in him. Of course, for all Florida fans, we hope we don't see him at all this year, meaning Lagway is healthy. But either way, good reps for him here, and he's making the most of them in this second half of the game. 2nd and goal earlier, we saw Florida sneak out Hansen to the pylon in the front. Now let's try to sneak out Livingston here to the back corner instead and see if they'll fall for that one. They fell for it the first time. Perhaps they will fall for it again, and there we go. As soon as the ball was snapped, you could maybe for a second see, there you go. He's got eyes on the backfield. He's going to backpedal slightly, but he's going to keep his eyes in the backfield as Livingston runs right by him. Let's roll the tape here for you. Right by him. And then a really nice confident throw here, though, from Jones. Again, if he waits just a little bit longer to throw this ball, he's going to be underneath this, and it will not be there. But the immediate ball placement here, throw it right away. Give him time to get up there. Don't let him get in here and separate it. Is what you want. And there it is. High point, touchdown, great ball placement, great job there by Jones. Really, really clean stuff from Florida's new backup quarterback and true freshman. So you've got a sophomore and a freshman heading things up here with Florida. Florida's a very, very young team if you look at the 2 deep. Very, very young when it comes to experienced players on this football team, but looking more experienced perhaps than their years would indicate in some respects. One more look here at this pass. On time, easy ball, high point. That's just too easy. But again, great on-time throw. 2nd and 3 now, 32 seconds left. If you're wondering why Florida might be out here slinging the ball around, given Florida's schedule, this might be the last time Florida can really play any of their deep bench or, kind of redshirt senior walk-on-ish level players. That's what kind of schedule Florida has. They may find other ways to get them in there, but I think that's why you're seeing Billy kind of take an approach here of trying to score and also isolating redshirt senior and all-time program guy Taylor Spirito, the Pride of City Church here in Gainesville, Florida. But either way, lined up here one-on-one. Let's clear this out. I'm going to clear this out right here. There we go. Clear it out. Check this out. One-on-one. This is a dream, right? You're a receiver. You've been in the program for a while. You've had some great moments. You get your moment one-on-one. There's the sweet orange end zone. Let's just make a nice, simple little in cut here. Hope this safety doesn't get cagey and help out. And then get you a tutty. I mean, this play is entirely for him. That's all we're running. This entire play is here, right? We're making this look like an RPO, but make no mistake about it. This play has one design and one design only, and it is to get him the football. This guy's not going to help. Huge window here. Easy throw for Jones. Guy coming low makes it tougher. Again, they're in here, right? This becomes a lot harder. If we block this up, it's a layup. Now he's got to stand tall, get that lead leg out there, get it exposed. Not a comfortable feeling as a quarterback. LIU kind here. Good sportsmanship. You like to see him get up high, follow the rules, not take a guy out. But then here he is, wide open. Chance to get in the end zone here. Easy catch. He's not dropping that one. Sure-handed there, Spirito. Touchdown in the end zone. Vibing. Exclamation point. Florida already covering the spread. Now well over the spread. 54, eventually 55, nothing. So mixed feelings, I would say, about this game. Breaking it down on film. Lots of stuff that was not there to like. Some rust from DJ. Lots of stuff to like. Jaden Ball, BB3, Abrams, some other guys out there. Obviously, Tramel Jones here coming in at the end. You see Rubio, who got some carries. So a mixed bag from offense. It's one game. It's a small sample size. But without a doubt, the simple meta narrative here to take into week 2 is what does this offensive line actually look like against USF? Does it look like this? Or does it look more like what we're hoping for? And then what does Lagway look like? Is one game and then a week of practice enough for him to kind of get back into the feel of things? Does he kind of wake it up and then get the timing and the trust back? If those two questions are answered in the negative way, where Florida perhaps is not answering the bell the right way when it comes to quarterback play with rust and offensive line play, you just can't allow a team to have that many TFLs, then you might wind up seeing something a bit different on Saturday in the Swamp. The game could be closer than that 17.5 point or so spread would indicate. Regardless of what happens on Saturday, we'll be back with you on Monday or Tuesday of next week, where I'll break down all the film once again. I hope you enjoyed this long breakdown. It was sort of a treat for having to wait so long for the season to get here, and then just to give you a ton of plays so we can get back formally into breaking down film together each and every week. As always, any comments or thoughts, questions you have, let me know. Write in the comments, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. I appreciate doing these film reviews with you, and I look forward to being back with you next week. Until then, go Gators.